All right, can you hear me now? Let's see. Still not having no sound for you for some. I'm still not getting any sound for you for some reason. I'm trying to see if I can. Let's see. Keep audio. Nothing yet. Let's see here. Let's go to the chat. Let's see. I don't know why your sound's not working. Let's see. Customize. Let's see. Nope. And it says you got the camera, which we can see, but it's still showing no volume for some reason. Dang it. Let's see. Where's my phone? Let's see. Try talking again, Robbie. No sound there. Let's see what happens if I just call you. We'll just do it this way. I don't know what's going on. It's not showing any sound on your end for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It says I was blocked on the microphone, so.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll just do it this way. They can hear us still, so. All right, let me go to the chat so I can see the chats for everything. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to share it to the Peoria Speedway page real quick.
Perfect.
All right. I think I can pull up a picture of your car, honestly.
Yeah, I tried to get in there. Like I say, I'm not very tech savvy. And
oh, it's all right.
Wasn't sure what to do with it.
We got other ways we can go around it. Let's see. Let's look up a picture of Robbie real fast. There we go. All right, guys. People in the chat, can you guys hear us? Put in the comments if you can hear us. Okay, let me. Pull up the picture. That way we have something here. All right, guys, we are here for, I believe this is episode 4 or 5, but we got Robbie Bauman Jr. out of Fairview, Illinois on with us. He finished second in our Peoria Speedway weekly racing points. Robbie, how's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going well. Thanks for having me on. Last week I ran into a little setback, so I wasn't going to be able to do it, but I appreciate you asking me to come back this week and do a little chatting.
Yeah. So let's do a little history here. We know that the Bauman family's been involved in racing for many years between Peoria and Spoon and Knoxville. And when did racing start for you guys, and when did you actually step into a race car for the first time?
So I believe it'd be in like the 60s. My grandfather did some racing, and then he kind of peered out in the mid 70s. And Ed Bolin drove for our family, I believe, for maybe a year or two. And then Dad kind of took over, and he's had his almost 40-year stretch of driving, a little bit off and on the last few years. But I actually started racing in 1997 in go-karts. I did that for a couple of years, and that was before they started letting guys race before 16 at Spoon River. So we had to take a 2-year break. And then we started in the B-Mod class down there. And we did that off and on, B-Mods, modified back and forth until like 2005, I believe. And then I went late model racing all the way up until 2019. When they had dropped the steel blocks, we did our last year of supers, and then I got it modified for a few years, and now I'm back to the late model gig, getting ready to start year 25.
Yeah, and then this year you've got you a new piece.
Yeah.
Let's hear about that.
We were, I'll be 100% honest when I say this, I had no intentions of racing late models this season. I was headed in a completely different direction, and sometimes having good contacts does you wonders. Justin Reed Racing was looking to make a really big improvement to their program, and we were able to land a deal with Justin and got a really nice piece. So I'm looking forward to it. It's probably the best equipment I've ever had under me as far as a car goes. I've been a diehard Rayburn guy forever.
Yes.
But yeah, so we're going to come out with a Rocket XR1 and see what we can do.
Yeah, that Justin, he's helped you guys out for quite a few years. He's been to Peoria off and on. I've known Justin he started racing late models back in 07, 08, somewhere around there. And I met him down at Moberly the first time I met him. But I've got to see him around at different racetracks. He's a good dude. And hopefully we'll see him over at Peoria a little this year. Who knows? He usually stops by a couple times. So
yeah, Justin's actually he's been a big help throughout the area the last couple of years. There's several different B-Mod guys that are running some of his shocks. And, it's nice to work with a racer who is kind of on the same playing field as all of us. He does shocks and he races, and he's very helpful in that aspect. And, of course, the car that we did pick up, Justin won I think it was the inaugural Gary Swabble Memorial Race. He won that feature, fast time heat race feature that night. So there's some big shoes to fill with this car, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he took the clean sweep on that one. He took the fast time award. I think that was the first year we did heat race. Well, that was the first year. So yeah, we did heat race winning money. Then he led every lap in the feature, so he got that on top of the 5,098. So
yeah, that was a good night for him.
Yes, and then he got that 30-pack of beer also. So. I'm sure that was drank by the time it got to Quincy. Yeah. So let's go to last year was it was an up and down year, but you ended the year good with a second in points.
Last year was kind of a roller coaster ride, you could say.
Yes.
Had our ups and downs. It's racing's a humbling sport, and you got to take it. Whatever it brings to you. My goal was I wanted to be there every night and at least, try to be in the top 4 or 5, because we had built that car kind of the pretenses of how we used to run our steel block late model. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, there were some times I was ready to throw in the towel. And I made a little joke at the banquet about having the oldest pit crew in the pits. And when I say that, I mean my father, he's 62, my uncle's mid-50s. The other two guys I consider uncles, they're 60s and 50s. Whether it was at the track or here at the shop, those guys, they really put a lot into it. They did a lot of the grind work, the beating and whatever, to make sure that we did get there weekly. So we ended on a good note. I was happy to get second, and I was very thankful for their contributions throughout the season and the help.
Yeah. I think how we did it last year, the Mars races and the Summer Nationals was not points nights for the late models or the modifiers because the touring series were there. I think that's how we're going to do it again this year, to where it's just your weekly nights.
Right.
So we hope that the locals still come and support the Mars and the Summer Nationals if they can. Maybe we can work a way out to where you get show up points for coming that night, or I'm working with Brad Hockaday on how to do that. So that gives you guys a little something besides trying to make the race that you get rewarded for also towards the points. So I know years ago that's how other tracks did it and it seemed to work, but I don't know how well it would work these days, but I still want to give you guys something if you come and race.
Right. Yeah, and as a racer, I mean, I appreciate that because, you've known me for a long time, and you kind of know how we race, and I try to race. I try to race to make it make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the goal is you want to win every time you roll in the gate, but Kevin Weaver once told me, as the cost goes up, you have to race it has to make sense how you're doing it. And you could be one of those guys that is done in a couple of years because you're out of money and you're broke, or, I've been fortunate enough to go on year 25 and try to keep plugging away, be consistent, but still have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and that's where, like you said, the making it make sense. And last year's schedule was probably the best schedule for the drivers that we've had, and you could tell in the car counts. And I'm hoping it goes the same again this year. But I think if we can get 80 to 90 cars again, that we'd be in good shape. So, but heck, we only raced once in July, so I mean.
Yeah, you guys put a nice schedule together. I'll be honest, I was one of the first to say to myself, man, why are we building a race car when we aren't racing that much?
Yeah.
But the long haul of it was, it's nice to be able to regroup. It gives you a chance to kind of touch base, get things rejuvenated a little bit. I am one of few. I don't have kids and a wife and stuff, but those that do, people are so busy right now these days. There's so much going on, and I think the way you guys are promoting the track and your schedule and stuff, I think you're doing great. I think you're going to get the support. I think people really are buying into this schedule with the time off. It's really a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like you said, the ones with the kids, they're able to go and do a vacation. The guys so like Dustin, for example, he's a drag racer. He likes to go straight lines in 4 seconds. But he also likes to wheel that street stock also, so that gives him a chance to do both.
Right.
You've got your nieces and your nephews, so that gives you guys time to go and do stuff with them also. So
we'll hit a T-ball game or something.
Yeah.
Playing the dirt as usual.
Yep. In today's world, it's just there's so much travel baseball in the summer. There's travel basketball. There's travel hockey. All of it in this. I mean, it's going like year round for those guys now, for those kids. So a lot of racers have stepped away because that's what their kids want to do. They don't want to race. They want to play baseball or basketball or hockey. And then some do take the time off to race and play, depending on what they're wanting to do there. So,
well, it's funny you talk about like drivers stepping away. My dad and I, we work together, and we had this conversation on the way home. We were talking about when I started racing, the amount of the names that were there and duplicates, from Fairview, there were 3 Munsons that raced.
Yep.
From Canton, there used to be, 4 Andersons or 3 Anderson, Tyler Oswald. And the sport has just gotten so crazy, and there's so many other things going on. It's just pulled so many people away.
Yes. Yep. So let's go to, I know your first win wasn't at Peoria, but let's talk about a little bit of your first win when that was, and then let's talk about your first win at Peoria also, and if you remember when that was also. So I'm going to get you with a two-parter here.
So 2005, we won Spoon River Speedway Steel Block Late Model Season Championship. It was kind of on a whim. I got the lead, and Keith Wisher got into my left rear and kind of got me turned a little bit, and we had a yellow. Got my spot back and was able to hold him off. And that was my first win in 05. And my first win at Peoria was in 2011. And I was in the steel block late model class. And it was pure luck. Jack Siegel was the most dominant car for sure. And he literally gave me just enough room to get beside him, and I was able to get a win. I don't think I even led more than maybe a couple of laps, maybe 2-3 laps at the most. And then I've won a couple other in the steel blocks. We had the break when we had the flood. I won 2 in a row when the steel blocks went back to Spoon. So yeah, those are the ones, Spoon and Peoria.
Yeah. I know that year we had the flood with Kurt, and then Brad let the steel blocks come out there and run. I knew you got a cup. I didn't remember if it was 2 or 3 in a row, but I knew you were on a win streak out there for a minute. So
yeah, we actually we won 2, and we were leading the third one, and we broke a rear end. And then the next week we came back and we were running second, and we actually had an MSD failure, and I thought I was going to get under to the win. And then we came back to Peoria, and I think we ran maybe second or third a couple times, and then we broke an engine. And that was the way that year fell. It was kind of a short year for Peoria, so we didn't win this much.
Yeah, I think we ran the first 2 nights, and then it flooded, and I don't think we ran again until middle of July.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Because Kurt had to redo that whole place. The concession stands were ripped in half. The bathrooms were pulled up out of the concrete. It was a bad deal.
Yeah, I can remember the pictures floating on Facebook. It was as the water was coming up, and it was just like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And I never thought we'd ever even make it back there that season.
Me either.
That was a huge effort by all the people that put into that to turn that around.
Yeah, because I've been through a flood with Sherry. I've been through it with Kurt, and I've been through it with Brandon. And Kurt's by far was the worst one that I was around for. But I know they did have a flood back in the day that I think the racetrack was closed for 2 seasons at that point.
Yeah. I want to say that probably was like in the 70s, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet Scott Schultz got every bit of information.
Probably.
About that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky to have a racetrack historian like Scott. It's pretty neat to have him around because you see the changes through the years, literally, and he brings everything to us. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes. I like I like a lot of the history that, I can ask him anything and he has it. It's there. And when I think I know something, he's going to know even more than I know. And a lot of people come to me. I'm like, if I don't know it, you need to go to Scott. So
Correct.
But no, he's a great guy to have around. And so what's your plans for this? Besides, we know you got the new piece. What's your guys' plans for this coming season?
My main focus is just the weekly racing at Peoria. I work out of town. My hours are, I wouldn't say set by any means, and it's just I'm at the point where weekly racing I'm content with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of excited because we got my dad out at the end of last year. After being off a couple of years, he had his knees replaced, and we got this Bandit car that Brian Barber builds there out of Kentucky. And we got a 602 dash in it, and I'm kind of excited to get that thing back out with him behind the wheel. And maybe we can have both cars at the track a little more often.
Yeah. And there's enough time to where there's classes in between you guys, so it's not that you couldn't help each other or Willie's going to get overloaded. I mean,
yeah, for me, a lot of it is you don't realize how much you rely on someone.
Yeah.
When they're not there, and not too many times in my career have I went racing without my dad.
Yeah.
Some people might think that's kind of goofy and whatever, but it's just that self reassurance that he's there. It's like when my uncle, sometimes my uncle might take a weekend and go do something else. It's just a weird feeling when you don't have all the puzzle pieces there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what hit Roger Rebholz. I think that's why we know that's why he's taken off, was he didn't feel being at the racetrack without Papa was going to be a thing right now for him.
And that's completely understandable. The success that they've shared with Mr. Rebholz and Roger and Corey in the mix of that, that's a tough one to fight on.
Yeah.
Going back without
Exactly.
a very important piece.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Well, for me, that when Dad was just a push truck driver for the last couple of years he was down there, but going down there without him it was different. But bringing Billy back helps having him there still. But
right. Yeah, we got Billy back.
Yes, so
got him up high enough to make sure nothing happens to him.
Yeah, exactly. And he's doing a good job up there. So
yeah, he does a good job up there. He does.
Yep. So
he does a good job up there.
I know he's ready to get back in the stand this weekend. So hopefully everything keeps going smooth as it is, and we should be practicing Saturday. So
yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to make practice. We're really close, but we literally have we've had a few setbacks literally with shipping, postal, whatever you want to call it. We've ordered a few things, just trying to button some stuff up, and I know Wednesday they're calling for some pretty good rain in certain areas. So, like I explained to the guys, it is very important for me that I would like to practice on this new car and stuff. But also everything's got to be right too. We can't be going to the track with a wheel falling off. I did that once last year. That was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brian got a picture of it too. So
yeah, he did. I know the guy that put the wheel on, so that guy should have been fired. But it happens, you can't win them all.
No, and if you don't make this play day, we do have another one just in case things do get ready and you're good to go. Yeah, exactly. So there's no reason to rush the first practice. We'd like to see as many cars there as we can because I know people are itching, but we also understand too. So,
right.
Well, let's go ahead and have you thank the people that help you out, your sponsors, your family, your crew members, which most of them are your family too. So let's go ahead here, everybody.
First off, we have some return. Most of our sponsors returning. There's a few not, but with the economy and stuff. But, everybody that helped us the last couple of years, Russo Property Services, with big shout out to BNN Auto Body, Noah Follow. It's just, he is, man, he's a savior for a lot of us racers. Tim Natick, promoting down the Spoon River. Tim's helped us out for the last 4 or 5 years, and we appreciate Tim. We wish them the best of luck down there with their new endeavors. Liberty Laser Solutions, aunt and uncle, they're up in the Ottawa area. We've had the Fairview Quick Stop, Tri-State Car Wash Solutions. It's Corey Sherman. Corey, he can jump on board. Every year he's helped us, so that is very appreciative. No questions asked. Ratliff Maintenance and Repairs, Canton Automotive, Napa, Brandon Hamburg from BHAM Signs. Brandon he's I think I'm his longest going customer now. I've been with him since 2013. CMA Enterprises, Ottawa Plant Food, and Brent Bauman Photos, obviously. Mm-hmm. Make sure I give that guy a plug.
Yeah, give him a plug.
And, just the guys at Rocket, I've had to have, a few conversations with them. They're super helpful. I don't even know where. My dad, my uncle, Tim Harris, Lee Ratliff, Leanne Bauman comes in and helps. It's just, there's a lot of people that make it happen, and I'm thankful for appreciate everything you guys are doing at Peoria Speedway. I think you're doing a great job, Jeff, promoting with what you're doing. You're doing your throwback stuff. If this isn't an indication to people that you're not trying, I don't think they'll ever see the real light of it,
Yeah.
It's, I take a notice to it. My team takes notice to it, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, I started this, so, a lot of people, they know the drivers from the car, but they haven't maybe gotten a chance to come back to the pits and meet you guys.
Right.
So this gives me a chance to have you guys kind of talk and the fans get to know who you are, because by the time Wednesday comes, I'm usually around 5,000 views on these live streams here. So it gets across to a lot of people. So
I hope coming into the 25 season here that there'll be some things that we can do to do some more interaction with fans.
Yeah.
Of course, admit I'm not always too sociable. After I get out, I kind of like to load up and go. But it's the people in the stands that help make it happen too.
Yeah.
It don't hurt a guy to give a little bit of time back. So hopefully, you guys put some stuff together in 25 and be involved with that.
Yeah. I know we've got a couple car shows. I know there's one in March coming up. The big one that we do out in Metamora, that Metamora Motors puts on.
Yep.
That's a big one. Last year we probably had, I think there was probably 15 or 16 race cars. I'd say probably 20 to 30 hot rods. It was a good overall car show. It wasn't just race cars; it was classic cars and hot rods, and then race. It was a good deal.
I think you guys did well with that too, because of the fact that, like you mentioned before, it gives hot rodders and drag racers they get a different, perspective and view on the circle track stuff, and the circle track guys, they get to check that out. So there's a little more exposure for everybody.
Yeah, I can't thank Kelsey, Randall, and Dustin and Randy for everything they do for that, along with the town of Metamora, because a lot of people on the square, Logo Wear, and some of the bars there and restaurants, they come on board and they help sponsor, like the racing simulator, that's sponsored. So Chris Rhodes comes over from Fairbury, he sets up, and rides are free all day long. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool then.
So that'd be a good one. I know it's a little drive for you guys. That's probably an hour and a half drive for you guys, but it's worth the time for sure. But
for sure.
And then, of course, I know Logo Wear's done stuff for you guys in the past. So Logo Wear has cars that.
Actually, I forgot to mention her. Carmen and Brian have been wonderful. They helped us out with embroidery stuff for shirts, hats. I actually got her back on the car. She always takes care of me whenever I need something.
Yeah. So last year she had 4 or 5 cars set out in front of her shop, so that was cool to see. And then she was able to get pictures with the race cars in front of Logo Wear. And anything that we can do. Hanover's Pub on the Square. They got good food. I know Kelsey is reaching out to food trucks, so we'll have food trucks out there this year also to help with food. So it's gonna be, and then we have a DJ, so that's a good deal. It's fun. I really enjoyed last year, so I look forward to it. I think it's April 12th this year. It's on a Saturday. We don't race, so
okay.
I know the Illini 100 is going on that day, but we don't race, so that's why we picked that date. So.
Yeah, you probably won't see me at the Illini. Yes, I'll be honest with you.
I won't be down there either. So no, I got to work on Sundays, so that's a hard one to go to. So
yeah, I hear you. Work's overrated, but you got to.
It is.
Have fun, right?
Yeah, we got to do it to have fun. So. No, but I appreciate you coming on and taking the time. I know last week you had something pop up, so we were able to reschedule this week. And
maybe in the future I can get a little more tech savvy and get something set up so all these people can see my smiling face.
We'll have to get Brendan to get your phone all set up for you.
Yeah. Like I said, it was kind of a quick, and you told me to come on and whatever. I'm like, I wasn't working.
Yeah, no. So it's a good thing we could do it this way. It's picking up on my microphone, so we're good to go on that. So
awesome. Well, yeah, I do appreciate you having me on. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the season. You and Brandon and then your staff down there. I think you guys are doing a great job and doing what you can for the local Saturday night racer to keep in the game and keep doing what we like to do.
Yeah, because we couldn't do this without the local racers, the local fans, the local sponsors we get. Yeah, is the big race here and there good to have? Yes, but we can't do what we do if we don't have a Saturday night that can bring people in. So, nope. So, thank you, Robbie, and I'm sure we'll see you here in a few weeks.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks. You too. All right, so that was Robbie Bauman, second place in our late model points last year. Looking to have a good season again this year. This Saturday, the 22nd, our first practice is scheduled. Gates open at 11. We'll go practice 12 to 4. If you're a racer and you are on here, please have your receivers with you because we will be talking to you on the receivers. I will also have my computer down there to get you guys registered on a My Race Pass if you have not done that already. Mandy and Chris will have UMP memberships if you have not done that yet this year. To please fill those out. Let's try to get as much done before opening night as we can, so we don't have a huge line of people waiting to get stuff done and turned in. Because we got 2 more weeks. Well, this week, yeah, 2 practices and it's race night. So April 5th, I believe it is our first race of the year. I'm excited. I know Brandon and Cody and Jay have been down at the racetrack working, getting it ready. I was down there twice last week. I went down there and got the loop set up. I did a test run on the My Race Pass. So I ran a full race night on My Race Pass, and it's working. So we should be good to go for opening night there. But again, please get on My Race Pass if you haven't yet and register. If not, we can do it at the racetrack. But then let's please also get our UMP memberships, our W9, and our transponder rentals all done also. All that stuff is on the Peoria Speedway website. It's under 2025 paperwork. So you guys can get on there and print them off and fill them out if you want and bring them to the track then. But then also we have the Copenhagen Bandit. He will be coming to Peoria Speedway on August 23rd. We will have a full race show, and then we will have him live doing a stand-up comedy act afterwards. So that should be something fun. The guy, he's a diehard race fan. I think he raced at one point, and he's very excited to be here, and we're excited to have him. So thank you guys all for joining in tonight, and we will see you Thursday night for our Thursday throwback race rewatch. If you guys